to my YouTube channel. In today's video I have a part 2 of last week's video. So instead of what foods to avoid if you have a gluten intolerance, today's video is going to be all about what foods you can eat when you have a gluten intolerance. So before I get into the video, make sure to give this video a nice thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and a little bell so you don't miss another one of my videos. Alright, let's get into it. So I know if you have a gluten intolerance or if you've seen some of those Instagram posts or whatever, I know it might seem like everything good is just off limits. Like you can't eat anything if you have a gluten intolerance or a wheat allergy or anything like that. Now what you don't see is all of those healthy and delicious, just naturally gluten-free foods that there are out there all the time. And then of course, with all this gluten craze that's been going on, with all the awareness, there are a ton of gluten-free options just right at your grocery store for pastas, crackers, cookies, all that kind of stuff. So they've really kind of made it easy for you guys to have those foods that you love and not be so restrictive and feel like you can't eat anything. So today I'm going to give you guys the 7 foods that you can eat if you have a gluten intolerance, and they're going to be good. And number 1. This is going to sound terrible, but this is my favorite, fruits and veggies. Now, these are actually going to be naturally gluten-free, but do keep in mind that, you know, candied fruit or battered fruit and things like that are not necessarily going to be gluten-free anymore, but the fruit itself inside is. Now, that's why you've heard me mention in the past in other videos with tried and true Trader Joe's when they had gluten-free stickers on their bananas, and I was just like, of course. Bananas are naturally gluten-free. No one genetically modified anything to not have gluten in it. It's a fruit. It's just gluten-free. But then on the other hand, I told you guys, like, I couldn't complain. At least I'd rather people be, you know, overdoing it with labeling than just mislabeling things or not labeling them at all. So can't complain, but that is kind of funny. So these fruits and veggies would include apples, avocados, bananas, berries, citrus fruits, plums, peaches, spinach, kale, onions, sweet potatoes, cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, peppers, butternut squash, zucchini, Brussels sprouts, and mushrooms. The list goes on. But they're all so delicious and you can do so much with them. Number 2, legumes. Now, beans and lentils are gluten-free, so that's why a lot of times you'll see beans and lentils being used to make gluten-free options of pastas or things like that, or other products that are gluten-free. The base is going to come from beans and legumes. Now, this would include red lentils, black beans, chickpeas, love chickpeas, kidney beans, cannellini beans, Adzuki beans, pinto beans, and peas. Number 3, of course, gluten-free grains and grain products. So that's going to include quinoa, sorghum, millet, buckwheat, oats, amaranth, wild rice, corn, teff, brown rice, and other baked goods made from these grains. Now, like I mentioned in my previous video of what foods not to eat, or just my what is gluten video, you just want to make sure you keep an eye on the whole cross-contamination scare thing. So in order to ensure that your grains are definitely gluten-free, they have to be certified gluten-free on the label, because otherwise they can just kind of get cross-contaminated by being made in the same factory or processed with the same machinery or whatever it might be. It's not on purpose, but it can happen. So if you don't want any accidents or anything like that, then just make sure they just say certified gluten-free right on the label. Now, number 4 is animal proteins. Now, just like the fruits and veggies, like I said before, these are also going to be naturally gluten-free. So this would include eggs, meat, poultry, fish, shellfish, and dairy products such as, you know, yogurt or cheese or something like that. Number 5, nuts and seeds. Now, these are also naturally gluten-free, but they do provide a nutrient-rich source of fat, and they also can be made into flours and things like that. So if you haven't seen it already, make sure to go check out my almond flour video that I posted, where I take almonds and I make an almond flour out of it. Now, I've done this with normal almonds with the skins on them. I've done it with bleached almonds. I've made almond butter. So definitely check out those videos. Those are all going to be gluten-free options for you guys. So the things you can eat would be pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, cashews, almonds, peanut butter, walnuts, almond butter, pecans, hazelnuts, pistachios, and macadamia nuts. Now, if you guys want me to make a video on this, now just thinking about it, I can make you guys a video on foods that you shouldn't let your dogs eat, because I do know macadamia nuts is one of them, and my dad just loves to give Bailey macadamia nuts, and I told him he's not supposed to eat them. So that could definitely be a video that I can make for you guys if you're interested. So if you are, just leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I'll definitely make a video on that for you guys. Number 6, there's certain seasoning and condiments that you can have. So apple cider vinegar, fresh herbs like basil, rosemary, cilantro, pesto, most salsas, most dried herbs and spices, coconut aminos, hummus, squash, sauerkraut, tahini to make that hummus, and mustard. And finally, lucky number 7, healthy fats and oils. So most sources of healthy fats are going to be gluten-free, so keep that in mind. So this would include full-fat yogurt, cheese, olive oil, avocado oil, nuts, seeds, and nut butters like the almond butter or the peanut butter that I talked about earlier, avocados, unsweetened coconut, and actually coconut oil as well. So to sum everything up, if you have a gluten intolerance, foods that you can eat would include fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds, fish, poultry, dairy products, gluten-free grains, and legumes. Now, what are some healthy gluten-free brands that are out there in your local grocery stores that you should really keep an eye out for if you are practicing a gluten-free diet because you have an intolerance or an allergy or something like that? So number 1, we have Simple Mills. Now this brand is not only gluten-free, but they're grain-free as well. Number 2 is Purely Elizabeth. Now this company is a certified gluten-free brand. Now number 3 is Jovial Foods. Now this brand makes pastas with just 2 ingredients, brown rice and water. Crazy, right? Number 4 is Bob's Red Mill. Now they have a variety of different products here. They have flours, grains, pancakes, pizza crusts, all those different kinds of things that are all gluten-free. Number 5 is Base Culture. Now this company has gluten and grain-free baked goods. Ooh. So this would include brownies, blondies, savory and sweet breads, things like that. Super delicious. So you guys can definitely have your baked goods, but just have a gluten-free option that's still just as good. Number 6 is Capello's. Now this company is also gluten and grain-free. They have pastas, gnocchi, pizza crust, pre-made pizzas, and even cookie doughs that are all gluten and grain-free. Now there are other companies out there, these are just 6 of them that I had found for you guys, but definitely do your research if you want to find out any other ones, if maybe these brands aren't found at your local grocery store. There are brands out there that are very health conscious or medically conscious or gluten conscious, because this has become a real issue that now that people are more aware, they're definitely looking for these gluten-free options in the store and they want to make them available for you guys. Now I know you guys are going to ask me, if I'm eating out, how do I make sure that I'm sticking to a gluten-free diet? Like maybe you're confused, you don't know what to look for, maybe something has gluten in it and you're just not sure if it does or not, or anything like that. So I'm going to give you guys just a couple tips just to make eating out a breeze and you can enjoy it and not just have to worry about anything. Now there are some restaurants out there that do have gluten-free options on their menu, but many of them don't, so it's really important to know what you can and can't eat or order if you do have a gluten intolerance. And definitely make sure to tell your waiter or your waitress if you have a wheat allergy or a gluten intolerance or something like that. That way they really take it seriously and they understand that if they mess anything up, like it's gonna be a problem. It's not just something like, oh, I just prefer this or prefer that. Like, no, you have a medical condition, and I'm not saying they won't take it seriously unless you say that, but just please, it's just the safest way to do it. Just let them know. So a nice generalization is to just stay away from pastas, breads, and grain dishes unless there's something that are gluten-free, so like a brown rice pasta or some sort of gluten-free grain. I know this is going to be tough, but stay away from the bread baskets. Instead, maybe inform them of your gluten intolerance and ask for just another appetizer that they can bring out instead. So maybe something gluten-free like an edamames, caprese, a salad, or like a hummus platter or something like that. Now, fried foods. So fried foods usually are going to contain gluten. So that's going to be your French fries, if they fried your chicken or they fried your fish or something like that. So it's best to just stay away from those options on the menu. Now, I've simplified it into 3 easy steps for you guys to create your own gluten-free meal when you're out ordering at a restaurant. So step number 1 is going to be choosing your protein source. So is it going to be fish, shrimp, chicken, beef, lentils, beans, tofu, etc. So then once you pick one of those, you can move on to step 2. And that's going to be choosing a gluten-free starch or grain. So are you going to choose sweet potatoes, normal potatoes, winter squash, amaranth, quinoa, brown rice? So then once you pick one of those, you can move on to step number 3. Now that's going to be your non-starchy vegetables. So are you going to go with some broccoli, cauliflower, maybe pepper, maybe mushrooms, zucchini, spinach, green beans? See, it's pretty easy. So just pick one of each of those items, boom, there's your meal. Now I do find that salads or those green bowls that are customizable are super easy and convenient. You can just swap things in and out and put whatever protein, whatever starch, whatever grain, whatever it is you want on there, and you don't have to worry about anything because you're just picking the entire meal. Well, I hope this video really opened your eyes and let you see that if you are practicing a gluten-free diet just for personal preference or because you have a medical issue, that you can still eat a ton of really good, delicious, healthy foods. You're not crazy restricted and you just eat like food all the time. Okay, well that's all I have for this video today, you guys. I hope you liked it and I hope you learned something new. If you did like it, make sure to give this video a nice thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you don't miss another one of my videos. If you want to get my exclusive nutrition tips, healthy food recommendations, and delicious recipes right to your inbox, then make sure to head over to my description box, click the link, and join the fam. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.